SAP CO take cares of entire orders, cost sheet, inventory sheet, cost allocation, etc. So that's a combination of the FI and CO, that's financial accounting and cost controlling. It is a software that stores data and also computes them and enters the result based on the current marketing scenario. SAP FICO prevents data lost and also does the verification and reporting of data. Next, what are the other modules to which financial accounting is integrated? The other modules to which financial accounting is integrated are sales and distribution module, material management, human resource. Material management is MM, human resource is HR, production planning is PP, controlling of financial transactions. Now, in SAP FI, what are the organizational elements? The organizational element in SAP FI are company code, business area, chart of account, that's the COA, and functional area. Explain what is posting key and what does it control. In order to determine the transaction type which is entered in that line item, a 2-digit numerical is used known as posting key. Posting key determines account types, types of posting, debit or credit, field status of transaction. That's going to be explained what is posting key and what does it control. The next, what is the company code in SAP? To generate financial statements like profit and loss statement, balance sheet, etc., company code is used. When you create a company into the SAP, you have to create the company code and you have to assign that company code to that company. How many chart of accounts can company code have? You can have one chart of accounts for one company code, which is assigned for one company. One chart of code is going to be work. For company code, how many currencies can be configured? There are 3 currencies that can be configured for a company code. One is a local currency and 2 are the parallel currencies. What are the options in SAP for fiscal years? Fiscal years in SAP is the way financial data is stored in the system. In SAP, you have 12 periods and 4 special periods. These periods are stored in fiscal year variant, that is calendar year from Jan to December, and for us, April to March, year dependent fiscal year. Now, what is a year shift in SAP calendar? SAP system does not know what is a broken fiscal year. Example given, April 2012 to March 2013, and only understand the calendar year. If for any businesses, the fiscal year is not a calendar year, but the combination of the different months of 2 different calendar year, and then one of the calendar year has to classify it as a fiscal year for SAP, and a month falling in another year has to be adjusted into the fiscal year by shifting the year by using the sign -1 or +1. This shift in the year is known as year shift. So the SAP knows only the calendar year, and knowing that we are in India and we have the financial year is from the April to March, so we have to adjust using the sign -1 or +1 in the calendar year, and that shift in the year is known as year shift. Example, April 2012 to December 2012 is our first calendar year, and Jan 2013 to March 2013 is our second year. Now, if you are taking April to December as your fiscal year, then Jan 13 to March 13 automatically becomes the second year, and you have to adjust this year by using -1 shift and vice versa. If the scenario is reverse, here you will use +1 shift. What is year dependent fiscal year variant? In a year dependent fiscal year variant, the number of days in a month is not as per the calendar month. For example, in year 2005, month Jan end on 29th, month Feb ends on 26th. In SAP, how input and output taxes are taken care. For each country, tax procedure is defined and tax codes are defined within this. There is a flexibility to either expense out the tax amounts or capitalize the same to stock. Explain what is validations and substitution in SAP. For each functional area in SAP, validations or substitution is defined. Example, assets controlling at the following levels: document level, line item level. Next, what are the applications areas that use validations and substitutions? FI, that's a financial accounting. CS, that's a consolidations. Cost accounting, asset management, special purpose ledger. PS, project system. CS, consolidations, real estate, and profit center accounting. What are the application areas that use validation and substitutions? In SAP, what is the use of FSV, financial statement version? FSV is a reporting tool. It can be used to extract final accounts from SAP, like profit and loss account and balance sheet. The multiple FSVs can be used for generating the output of various external agencies like banks and other statutory authorities. What is field status group? The answer, field status groups control the fields which come up when the user does the transactions. In FIGL, Financial General Ledger Master, the field status group is stored. What is FIGL? Financial General Ledger Accounting. That's to get an overview of external accounting and accounts. GL, that's a general ledger accounting, is used. It does the recording of all business transactions incorporated with all other operational areas in a software system, and also ensures that the accounting data is always complete and accurate. What is the default exchange rate type which is picked up for all SAP transactions? For all SAP transactions, the default exchange rate is M, that's average rate. What are the methods by which vendor invoice payment can be made? Manual payment without the use of any output medium like checks. Automatic payment like DME, data medium exchange, checks, wire transfers. There are two methods for payment. One is manual payment and second, automatic payment. What are the problems when business area is configured? The problem faced when a business area is configured is splitting of account balance, which is more prevalent in the case of tax accounts. For document clearing, what are the customizing prerequisites? The Customizing prerequisites for document clearing is to check the items cleared and uncleared. And this is done by open item management. Open item management manages your outstanding account, that is account payable and account receivable. For instance, an invoice item that has not yet been paid is recorded as open account until it is paid. What is the importance of GRIR? Goods received, invoice received, clearing account. The GRIR is an interim account in the legacy system. If the goods are received and the invoice is not received, the provision is made in SAP at the goods received. It passes the accounting entry, debiting the inventory and crediting the GRIR account. Similarly, when an invoice is received, the vendor account is credited and the GRIR account is debited. The GRIR will show as an uncleared items till the time the invoice is not received. What is parallel and local currency in SAP? Each company code can have two additional currencies in addition to the company code. Currency entered to the company code data, the currency entered in the company code creation is called local currency, and the other two additional currencies are parallel currencies. Parallel currencies can be used for in business transactions in order to do international transactions. Parallel currency can be used. The two parallel currencies would be group currencies and hard currency. Where can you use the internal order? To track the cost, internal orders are used. They are proposed to be incurred over and on a short-term basis. Is it possible to calculate depreciation to the day? Yes, it is possible to calculate depreciation. To do that, you have to switch on the indicator tip depreciation to the day in the depreciation key configuration. In asset accounting, what is the organizational assignments? In asset accounting, chart of depreciation is rated as the highest node, and this is assigned to the company node. All the depreciation calculations are stored under the chart of depreciation. What is the importance of asset classes and what classes are there? The asset class is the main class to classify assets. Every asset must be assigned to only one asset class. Example of the asset class is furniture and fixtures, plant and machinery, and computers, etc. The asset class also contains G1 account. When any asset is procured, G1 account is debited. Whenever you create an asset master, it becomes mandatory to mention the asset class for which you are creating the required assets. So whenever any asset transactions occurs, the G1 account attached to the asset class is automatically picked up and the entry is passed. You can also specify the default values for calculating the depreciation values and other master data in each asset class. How capital, work in process, work in progress, and asset accounted for in SAP. Capital work in progress is referred to as asset under constructions in SAP and is represented under specific asset class. Depreciation is not charged under capital work in progress usually. The cost incurred on building a capital asset can be booked to an internal order and through the settlement procedures and can be posted onto an asset under constructions. What are the major components of chart of accounts? The major components of chart of accounts are chart of account key, name, maintain language, length, GL account number, controlling integration, consolidations, group of chart of accounts, block indicator. That's the major components of COA. What is credit control area in SAP? To immune your company from the risk of bad debts and multiple outstanding receivable, you can set a credit limit for your customer by using credit control area in SAP. With the help of SAP, you can block the deliveries to your customer based on the credit limit and the account receivable balance in their account, which is maintained by you. That's going to be considered as a credit control area in SAP. How can you create credit control area in SAP? By using transaction code OB45 or path, you can create credit control area in SAP. SPRO, enterprise structure, maintain structure, definition, financial accounting, maintain credit control area, and then enter the following descriptions. So this is name of the credit control area in SAP, currency, description, credit limit, risk category, fiscal variant, and reporting group. What is posting period variants? In fiscal year, posting period is a period for which the transaction figures are updated. The posting period variance in SAP is accountable to control which accounting period is open for posting and ensures that the closed periods remain balanced. Explain in simple terms what is field status and what does it control. Field status group is a group configured in FSV field status variant to maintain field status for GL accounts. It controls which field should suppress, display, optional, and required. What is short in fiscal year? A shortened fiscal year results when you change from a normal fiscal year to a non-calendar fiscal year or other way around. This type of change happens when an enterprise becomes part of a new corporate group. What is an account group and where it is used? To control the data that needs to be entered at the time of the creation of a master record, an account group is used. Account group exists for the definition of GL account, customer master, and vendor. What is the purpose of document type in SAP? The purpose of document type in SAP is number range for documents are defined by it. Type of accounts that can be posted are controlled by it. Example, assets, venture, customer, normal GL account. It is used for the reversal of entries. Is business area at company code level? No, business area is at client level, which means other company code can also be posted to the same business area. In SAP, customer and vendor code are stored at what level? The vendor and customer codes are stored at the client level. It means that by extending the company code view, any company code can use the customer and vendor code. How are tolerance for invoice verification defined? Tolerance determines whether the payable places matching or tax hold on the invoices. The following are the instances of tolerance can be defined for logistic invoice verification: small difference, moving average price variances, quality variances, and price variances. What is country COA? A Country COA maintains or contains GL account need to meet the country's legal requirement. What is APP in SAP FICO? The app stands for Automatic Payment Program. It is a tool provided by SAP to companies to pay its vendors and customers. The app tools help to avoid any mistakes taken place in posting manually. Also, when number of employees is more in the company, payment through app becomes more feasible. In SAP FICO, what are the terms of payment and where are they stored? Payment terms are created in the configuration and determine the payment due date for vendor customer invoice. They are stored on the customer or vendor master record and are pulled through onto the customer vendor invoice postings. The due date can be changed on each individual invoice if required. So that feasibility is there in SAP. What are one-time vendors? In certain companies, especially the one dealing with high cash transactions, it is not practical to create new master records for every vendor trading partner. One-time vendors allows a dummy vendor code to be used on invoice entry and also the information which is usually stored in the vendor master. So that's going to be as a one-time vendors. What are the standard stages of the SAP payment run? The following steps are the standard stages of the SAP payment run: entering of parameters, vendor accounts, company codes, payment methods, proposal scheduling. The system proposes the list of invoices paid, payment booking, the booking of the actual payment in the ledger, and printing of payment from forms, example, checks. That are the standard stages of the SAP payment run. In account receivable, what is the difference between the residual payment and part payment methods of allocating cash? Residual payment and part payment are the two methods for allocating partial payments from customer. For example, an invoice for INR 1000 is generated. Customer has paid INR 700. Now, this INR 700 will be offset and leaving the remaining balance of INR 300 instead of 30. With residual payment, the invoice is created for the full value of INR 1000 and a new invoice is generated for the remaining balance, that is INR 300. What is dunning in SAP? The dunning is the process by which payment chasing letters are issued to customers. SAP can determine which customers should receive the letters and for which overdue items. Different letters can be printed in SAP depending on the overdue payment date. With a simple reminder, with the help of turning level on the customer master, we can know which letter has been issued to the customer. This is just one payment reminder to our customers or doing a follow-up through the systems automatically. What is the purpose of the account type field in the GL General Ledger Master Record? At the end of the year, profit and loss accounts are cleared down to the retained earning balance sheets account. The field contains an indicator which is linked to a specific GL accounts to use in this clear down. Explain what is recurring entries and why are they used. Recurring entries can eliminate the need for the manual posting of accounting documents which do not change from month to month. For example, an expense document can be generated which can be scheduled for the last day of each month or whenever an individual wants it. Usually, multiple recurring entries are created at one go and then processed all together as a batch month-end using transaction. So there is a feasibility in the systems to have the recurring entries in place through the automation. What is a value field in the COPA model? Value fields are number or value related fields in profitability analysis, such as quantity, sales revenue, discount, values. What are the statistical internal orders? Statistical internal orders are dummy cost object used for reporting and analysis purpose. It must be posted to in conjunction with a real object such as a cost center. For what purpose internal orders can be used? You can use internal orders for order overhead orders to monitor internal jobs settled to cost centers. Investment orders, it monitors internal jobs settled to fixed assets. And accrual orders, offsetting posting of accrued cost calculated in cost control. Orders with revenue, it displays the cost controlling parts of sales and distribution. It does not affect the core business of the company. So that's for what purpose internal orders can be used.